his leadership. He got a new contract. Cliff Kingsbury got extended. Keim got extended. And you are doing the first 6 weeks of this season without DeAndre Hopkins. You bring over Hollywood. We will see if Kyler Murray is taking this next step maturity to be the ultimate leader for the Cardinals.
Diana, who are you watching week 1?
Mike, we have talked about Tua on this show for 6 months straight. Some of it because we know the pressure's on, and they've made some really good changes. They've got some excellent additions there in Miami, and Tua needs to perform. Obviously, with the addition of Tyreek Hill, I am so over talking about Tua. I can't wait to see it.
And he's not the only Alabama quarterback in that game. Mike T, who are you watching?
Mac Jones, same game, same position, same school. We've talked so much also about play calling, and Mac Jones can erase all the noise and go out and play really good football on opening day against a really good Dolphin team on the road in the elements in Miami, and I'm fascinated to watch him go.
They will be in Miami, but New England is where I knew we were going to head next because it has been an offseason with so many questions for the Patriot offense. But Mac Jones sounds like he doesn't have any concerns. Listen.
I think we've ironed out a lot of things, and it's good that they're happening now, and I feel confident in what we're doing. We just got to go out there and do it for 60 minutes.
So, I mean, look, let me start with Mike T on this one, because you have been the big believer in Mac Jones. While I've had so many people, both on the air and off in my presence, question what New England might be doing, and in Bill we trust and all the rest of that, you remain steadfast. Why?
He played really well last year. He led the team to the playoffs and played well against the Bills in the playoff game. And when you look at what they do well, Greeny, is they can run the ball. They got 2 really good tight ends. Their receiver core isn't great, but it's solid. Losing Tyron Thornton is concern because he was the rookie from Baylor that had a lot of speed. But Mac Jones won't make mistakes. He won't turn it over. And they're going to be a hard team to beat. They're not going to be explosive, but they're not going to have self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, and that's fair. And they're well coached. And Marcus, I mean, we give Bill Belichick the benefit of the doubt. As well we should. But as far as the roster, I'll just put this out there for what it's worth. When ESPN ranked the top 100 players in the National Football League, do you know how many of them play for the Patriots? 0. Do you know how many teams had 0 players on that list? 5. The others were the Jaguars, the Lions, the Giants, and the Jets. So that's, at least in the eyes of the people on the outside, Marcus, what we think Bill is working with. What are they going to be?
All right, let me get this nipped in the bud because I'm sick of it. I've been watching shows and hearing it. Let's stop acting like Mac Jones' season last year was God's gift to football. Let's just pause on that for a second. Yeah, he played well for a rookie. He did some things, but I think anybody that watched tape knows that Mac Jones was highly insulated in an offense that was run dominant, and they didn't ask him to do much. At times, when we saw Mac Jones have to kind of come out of his shell and push the ball downfield and be a passer for a large majority of the game, we saw some mistakes as expected about a rookie. I do think he's going to take a step forward. I do believe that Mac Jones is a good to solid quarterback. But let's not get in this conversation like it's a wildly bet behind this offensive line, and he's not dealing with unknowns of knowing what his offensive coordinator situation is going to be. A second-year quarterback that had a solid season as a rookie, not something to write home about, because I remember having this conversation about a rookie in Cleveland who broke all the damn rookie records, and now he on another team. So let's take a break and figure out what's going to happen with Mac Jones when he's called upon to carry this offense like he was not last year.
The best thing about Marcus is you never have to wonder where he stands. So that's what he thinks. Diana, what do you think?
Well, I think a lot of the Mac Jones success story that we talk about here on the show is because we compared him to the other rookies, and he was that much better. And I think that's probably why we give him the benefit of the doubt there and why we talk so highly about him. But, Mike, I've been covering the Patriots for a long time now, and I've never been part of covering an off-season like this, where it just doesn't feel like the Patriot way. It doesn't feel organized. It doesn't seem like they have a plan. And look, maybe the mastermind Bill Belichick wants us to all believe in this chaos and wants other teams and other coaches, because I've had conversations with other teams about the New England Patriots, like, what do you think about them? And they all say the same thing, like, what is going on up there? they haven't figured it out yet. And I appreciate Mac Jones being the leader of the team, saying we've ironed it out and all that. And he's saying all the right things. He's a great kid. You ironed it out, and it's always hard to bet against, the greatest of all time. But Brady is also 6-0 in his own career against the Dallas Cowboys. And look, we made a big deal out of those 11 days Brady missed. But Brady will use anything as a chip to keep him motivated. So I think he's going to come out on fire against this team.
Look, remember, these teams squared off to start the season last year on that Thursday night, and Dak had the unbelievable night, even though Tampa wound up winning at the end. As far as this year is concerned, Todd Bowles, the new coach in Tampa, he and the Bucs seem very confident heading in. Listen.
I think we have more depth. I think we have more depth at each position than we had when we won the Super Bowl.
It's not going to be too many times that a team is this talented that you're on, and so we're going to take advantage of it and try to be hosting that trophy up at the end of the year.
All right, so this is fascinating to me. So you heard Todd Bowles say we have more depth. We had Bruce Arians up here the other day on First Take saying this is the most talented team they've had. And I think most football fans, because so many familiar names are gone, think the Buccaneers have gotten worse as far as talent is concerned. But Booger really got me thinking yesterday, Marcus, that maybe that's not right. Booger, who lives there in Tampa, is close to the situation. He said there are a lot of names you don't know. But this team may actually be more talented than it's been the last few years. Marcus, is that right?
No. Okay. And listen, this is why. Defensively, yes. I will look at that defense in our top tier. We know the names, we know the players, we know what they've done in this league. I'm not going to say a team is more talented when they don't have the offensive line that they won a Super Bowl with. I am a wait-and-see type of guy when it comes to up front, especially playing with a 45-year-old quarterback that demands more of his interior as far as his offensive line guys than anybody in the NFL. Am I nervous? Yes. Am I scared? Yes. Because we do not know, G. We have dealt with Tom Brady in his career based on knowns since we deemed him the GOAT. We've based that on knowing what's around him. We've based that on knowing that his protection would be solid and solidified. We do not know that. Yes, they can have talent, and these guys that are stepping in, like the Hayneses of the world who will be in that center, may turn out to be really good players. Hopefully so, but we do not know. And for that, I'm out.
So, Mike T., are you in or out? Because no one knows these rosters, and again, some of the names that average fans don't know, you do. How about it? How about this roster and its talent level right now around Tom Brady?
I'm all in. This is a great team because it starts on defense. They can be dominant on defense. They were really banged up, especially in their secondary when you think about guys like Carlton Davis, Murphy Bunny, Antoine Winfield. They all missed meaningful time. They got a star in Devin White. And on the other side of the ball, I guess I see it different from Swagoo from this standpoint. Shaq Mason, their right guard, is an upgrade for them. They got two great tackles. I think Hainsey will be fine. There is a question mark at left guard. But if anybody could be a great equalizer with a little leaky offensive line, it's Tom Brady and his pre-snap acumen. So I think they're going to be solid early on offense and dominant on defense.
How about it, Ty?
Yeah, I think leaky's the right word that Mike used there to describe it, but just having conversation with those in Tampa Bay, they say that we're the ones freaking out over the offensive line situation way more than they are. Because of their roster, they have that depth. They practice against each other, and they've been able to make each other better. And, you guys just put up on the screen there those offensive linemen that are on that injury report. Most of those guys are going to be coming back over the next week or so. So they're going to be in decent shape. When I had a conversation with head coach Todd Bowles about it, the first thing he said to me was that everyone is making a much bigger deal about this offensive line than what it needs to be. And look, we'll see, right? I'm with Marcus. Show me. I believe you, coach, but let's see it, because when you lose guys like Ryan Jensen, I don't know, that's not something you just brush off.
Marcus, give me a quick that face I can't ignore. Go.
Gee, I can't. To my football experience, I made this mistake a couple years ago when the Kansas City Chiefs went in to the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to wait and see. Y'all tell me about all this talent, how good they are, practicing together. Variables happen in games that don't happen in practice. I am going to wait and see. I know this is a talented team, but when you got questions at center and left guard in the NFL, those are some of the worst questions to have.
We're going to start finding out a week from Sunday night in a marquee matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go to another team that has a lot of questions, and that would be the New England Patriots. We'll get to them in a minute. Let's actually go through